Hello, we're Team 5. We're evaluating our client Berkshire Hathaway's equity book. Here's the thesis statement in one sentence. This portfolio is overinvested in a single asset class, dressed up to look diversified. There are around 6 tickers, 4 sectors, 100% equity, a 0.494 correlation between the largest holding and the S&P 500. By the end of this video, we'll show you what costs our client. 5 questions structured this review. Is the portfolio actually diversified? What's wrong today? What does the correlation data say? What would we change? And does it actually work numerically? Every figure came from the SQL run against our client's holdings and pricing tables. This slide is the spine of our analysis. There are 6 tickers across 4 sectors, look diversified on paper, however they aren't. Counting tickers is not the same as measuring risk. The portfolio puts all its monies in stock and has nothing defensive to fall back on during a market downturn. The largest position, Apple, carries a 0.494 correlation with the broad market. 6 names, 1 macro factor.
In dollar terms, Apple alone is 59.5 of the analyzed book. A 10% drawdown in that single name removes roughly 5.95 of the entire portfolio's value. We joined holdings current to security master list group by sector and confirmed it directly. 60.8 of the book sits in technology, another 24.4 in financials, and 2 sectors carry almost the entire fund. Here's where we have to be careful with methodology. The easy mistake is hunting for negative correlation and calling it a hedge. That's wrong. True diversification means correlation closest to 0. We used Apple as our benchmark since it's the dominant risk driver at 59.5% of the book and ranked every holding by distance from 0. TLT comes out closest at 0.014 with Verizon right behind at 0.015. Our fixed income candidate AGG lands low 2 at 0.071. We expected fixed income to show low correlation to equities, which is the textbook's assumption. The data confirmed it, and we want to show exactly how closely. TLT came in at 0.0414, the single lowest correlation of any candidate. AGG came in at 0.071, so low, though our estimates use just one trailing year of daily returns. A 3 to 5 year window would give a more stable read. A natural next step, confirming a result we already trust.
Correlation tells which holding moves independently, not wherever there are good investments on their own. So we ranked all 9 candidates by Sharpe ratio to decide how much weight each one earns. AGG comes up on top among the fixed incomes options at 1.33, the best risk adjustment return of any candidate. And on the other hand, Snowflake has the lowest Sharpe of the whole group at 0.45, meaning high risk for the return it delivers. That's the evidence behind the next slide. So considering all of that, here's our recommendation, and it's bigger than a trim. We trim Apple slightly, cut Snowflake entirely, and build a real fixed income position for the first time. Apple moves from 59.5% to 52%. We are not running from our highest conviction name, just sizing it more responsively. Snowflake exit completely. Its Sharpe ratio of 0.45 is the lowest of any candidate, translating too much risk for too little return. And finally, AGG becomes the primary diverse at 18%, anchored by Sharpes of 1.33, with TLT added at 2% for its near zero correlation.
Does it work? Expected return moves from 31.5% to 27.5%, down 12.6%. Portfolio risk falls further, from 22.6% to 18.4%, down 18.7%. The Sharpe ratio improved from 1.39 to 1.50, up 76%. We're giving up some return to buy considerably more risk reduction, and the math says that trade is worth making. 4 important considerations to keep in mind. Our risk figure is a simplified proxy assuming holdings move in lockstep. A full covariance matrix will likely show even lower true risk. We assume a 0% risk-free rate to keep the comparison clean. The improvement holds either way. Apple is our benchmark by design, since it's the dominant risk driver, and this insight exists only because we joined multiple tables. Holdings alone show ownership, not risk.
We want to show this, not just claim it. This query joins holding current to security master list on ticker grouped by sector and produces the exact numbers behind our central finding: 60.8% technology, 24.4% financial. Without this join, holding current has no sector, no way to see concentration at all. Close the gap between perceived and actual diversification. That's our recommendation to Berkshire Hathaway. An Apple trim to 52%, a full slow exit, and our client's first real allocation to fixed income, 18% AGG 2% TLT, lower portfolio risk by 18.7% and lift the Sharpe ratio by 7.6% without touching the equity conviction that built this fund. Thank you.